What's up guys, how you doing? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video we are going to be making another behind the scenes demonstration showing you guys how to get cinematic movement on a smartphone, cinematic footage in general. Right here we have the Zhiyun Smooth Q2 who are actually sponsoring this video, and we're basically just going to be using this as a tool to demonstrate each shot that I'm doing. So let's crack into this. So the first shot we're going to be getting is of the sea right here. We've got a really nice sunrise here. And what we can do is just line this up as best we can, trying to use the rule of thirds to get the horizon roughly in the right place. And then we're just going to be doing some really nice left to right movement here, trying to keep the frame, trying to keep that sun in the same place in the shot as we kind of establish this right here. That looks pretty awesome. Right, next up, we're going to create a linking shot. So we've got the sunrise there, we've got the sea. So the main thing in this shot here is the sea there and the sun reflecting off the sea. So we're gonna go down to the sea, try and get a closer shot, going from low to high. So we're gonna put it on the mode F, which is gonna allow the axis to tilt up, and we can start nice and low and come forward like this to reveal that sunrise there, which looks epic. Super nice. We're gonna do a couple more shots like this. I really like these ones because you can kind of tilt down like here, follow the footsteps along the sand, keep everything super smooth, and come up and reveal silhouettes of people here. That's dope. You always want to be thinking, okay, how can I create like a narrative? How can I link the shots together? Rather than just getting like random shot here, random shot there, random shot there, get a couple of shots and then think, how can I link these together to create a more complete sequence that is going to link together? So what we've done so far is we've got a wide shot of the sea there, we've got a wide shot of the whole environment here, a slightly closer one of the sea panning and tilting up to the sunrise there. So we're going to put this on POV mode right now, and what that's going to allow us to do is tilt sideways as well. It gives it this more kind of like, it's weird to say, but it gives it like this kind of handheld POV feel, even when you're on a gimbal, because we associate gimbals with everything super fixed and rigid movement. What we can do here is go from the side, come around, and just kind of do like a tilted, like kind of a Dutch angle. I mean, this all depends on the edit. Maybe I won't use this because these shots are kind of like risky, if you will. Like you can just put them in, and rather than looking nice and artistic, they can just look bad. But depending on the edit, they can look really nice. Next thing, we're gonna try and get a couple of shots of the birds. So come over here, maybe facing towards the sun if I can. Kind of coming around like this. It's like a pigeon tracking shot right here. There you go. And if I can, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes open to any slightly more epic shots of birds flying over, flying around, and catch her in there. All right, so we're just gonna head over this way and get a couple of shots of using the depth of field to try and get some more close-ups to make this video look a little bit less phone-like and try and make it look more cinematic as if you're actually using like a bigger camera. Add some production value. All right, so just before we get the close-ups here, I've seen this super nice shot that's almost like a kind of like a runway towards the sky there. So what we're gonna do is press the button, and that's gonna put it on locked mode. So we can adjust the gimbal, the axis to where we want. That looks super nice right there. Get a bit more of the sky in, and then once you've chosen your framing, then everything's gonna be super locked out. I'll just show you there, because the gimbal is completely locked. There's no movement on the axis there. So what that's gonna do is as you can move forward, you can get super nice kind of like cinematic dolly style shot that's gonna flow into the edit really nicely. Sick. Okay, let's get these close-ups. What we have here is these plants. And this is a real key thing when filming with a mobile phone, which is what you can do is press the screen. I'm sure whichever phone you have, it's probably gonna have this feature, which locks the autofocus and the exposure on your subject. So you press basically and hold, it's gonna lock that in. And then, super key to get on a mobile phone. You can go around And it's like, this is kind of the differentiator that a lot of people don't expect phones to be able to do, even still. It's kind of get this like super nice depth of field style shot where everything in the foreground is in focus, but everything in the background is just that nice amount of blurred. Come around. And hopefully that's gonna flow into our sequence super nice. Again, pay attention to the cinematic movement there. I'm flowing from left to right, and a lot of these shots already, I've been flowing from left to right. And it's good to kind of keep, in general, if you're gonna be moving side to side, it's good to keep that consistent. Because if suddenly you have a shot going from left to right, and then suddenly one right to left, it can be quite kind of jarring from the viewer. So if you don't want to have that jarring effect, best to stick to one movement direction. Okay, as we went through in the last demonstration video, that if you have a big view in front of you, you might be very tempted to pan. So this looks nice, and then we think, right, I want to get everything in one shot, so we're going to pan across. And on the gimbal, it's much better, to be honest. It's not like a handheld shaky pan. It can actually look pretty decent on a gimbal to do these panning style shots. But what's even better, as we went through in the last video, is to break up this pan. So we're going to do that right now. So there's two key things for me here in this kind of panning shot I just did. One of them is this really nice shot going that way of the W. The other one is this nice shot here of the two towers and this kind of fish thing in the shot there. So first one, we're gonna get the W. So we're gonna break this pan up, pick the shot. So again, don't just kind of point and shoot. You wanna set up your composition. Once you're happy with that, you got it locked in place. And I'm gonna keep it on the mode where we can use the side-to-side panning axis. And what we can do is move left to right whilst also panning slightly with your gimbal. And as soon as you're panning with movement, things start looking really, really nice. I'm gonna try that one more time. Maybe slightly less this time, so get that movement first. And have a subtle pan there. Awesome. All right, so that's shot number one. We're gonna grab the other shot now. We could try the actual tilt axis again. I really do like that one. So we'll come down like this, and we'll come up. It looks super cinematic. Look at that, even got a girl running in the foreground. And it kind of just emphasizes like the height and the power of those two towers, because you're starting from low, you're coming up, and as I went up, I was going down with the gimbal too, which makes the towers look even bigger from a low angle. I just want to get just one or two more shots here. One of them is going to be another one of these cinematic shots with the kind of an object in focus in the foreground. This time with the ocean in the background there, we're going to be locking the focus and exposure in on this fence in the foreground. And we're going to come round, still using this mode. Super nice. It's good to get the horizon in the shot. It could be quite easy to film down like this and just get this pole like here from a higher angle. But what you can do is as soon as you go lower, get the horizon in the shot, everything starts having a bit of context. And look, we can even get the W in the shot there too if we want, and film around like that. Just gentle movement, doesn't have to be anything too fast, too extreme, and that looks super nice. What we can also do is get a couple of shots following along this pole here. So again, you might see this, just film it from eye level. It looks nice with the rocks in the background, but like it kind of looks kind of vanilla, you know? But as soon as we come down like this, get the horizon in the shot, suddenly that's looking quite a lot more epic, cinematic. So we're gonna lock in the auto exposure there as well. And the focus, keep everything focused on this. I'm gonna do a shot where we're moving forward like that. All right, so just spontaneously saw all these birds flying across, so I want to be filming them for sure. Looks pretty good. Also, super nice here. Remember we got that shot of the two towers earlier? We've got a super nice opportunity to get a reflection of them now, which you could potentially link to the other shot later in the edit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a couple of options here. Option number one, we're gonna come around from left to right. Just getting the reflection there. And option number two, I think what I'm gonna do is do a tilt shot again. So coming in low, and we're gonna try and get that same shot. It's gonna be even more dramatic now. See if we can get a couple of shots from like medium. These guys doing some fishing. All right, what we can try and do here as well is get a shot that is, again, locked off, put it in locked off mode, adjust where you want it to be, and literally just get the movement here. So we've got the camera completely still, which is going to emphasize the movement of anything in the frame. So the cool thing about these gimbals is that you can use them as like temporary tripods, and they'll get everything super steady. So what we've got now is these paddle boarders going through the frame, and the fact that we are super still is going to emphasize their movement through the frame. And this is cool to, like, you know, start the video. What we might do is have this shot, you know, super locked off, super still, tripoded, and then we can kind of fade that in as the first shot potentially. And then after that, after we've already faded that in, we can start the more kind of dynamic movement shots. And I think that'll be a really nice way to kind of establish the video. All right guys, so what we've done this morning is get a cinematic sequence using the Smooth Q2 as well as my phone here. The main thing we're focusing on is making a video that doesn't look like it's been shot on a phone. So the typical things that you associate with phone videos is super wide shots and kind of shaky. So first thing, the Zhiyun Smooth Q2 has completely eliminated every bit of shake. So suddenly we get that super cinematic movement. And the other thing is that we've been focusing on these close-up shots too. So getting something in the foreground, locking that out in the exposure and the focus, and using that as our subject, which gives it this nice blurred effect and counteracts this typical image that we have from phones, which is they can only shoot kind of wide, shaky shots. If you want a list of all the gear that I use, that is in the description below. Click that will take you to my gear list, and I will send you that via email. You'll also get tips and tricks into your inbox to help support you on your filmmaking journey. All right guys, until next time, keep filming, bye-bye.